Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to a very interesting video. Today we will talk about the bot programs that are behind the bot players in naval forces, because I got contacted by a person from China explaining this from their perspective, and I'm very thankful for the insight in how it looks for them, and to be honest, I could relate much more than I actually thought I would. And China is a huge country with a big percentage of the world's population, and all naturally also the War Thunder player base. And Europeans are not really friendly towards what they think about Chinese players. And so I think that this could bring the community a bit more together, explain why this is all Gaijin faults, how it works, and how this is looking from the Chinese perspective, or let's say a certain part of the Chinese players. So I have here the account in written form in a Word document, and without further ado, I'll read it out. War Thunder Naval Botting, my perspective and the cause behind exploits the game in my community. Introduction and backstory. On October 2nd, I watched Napalmratte's video on the topic of player botting in War Thunder naval battles. The phenomenon and behaviors of such players are explained in detail, and the conclusion from the video is that the community should work together to report players that are using bot programs. After watching the video, I engaged in a lengthy talk with Napalmratte himself, explaining my point of view and the possible reason why these are happening. The following will be summarized talking points that I talked about during the chat. I'm a PhD student in China, preparing for graduation sometime next year. My research is in the field of underwater robotics, namely underwater navigation and autonomous exploration. I took my bachelor's degree at the College of Naval Architecture in the same school. In short, I studied how to design a ship. Coming from this background, it is not surprising that War Thunder is a popular game amongst people on campus. Over the years, through War Thunder, I have met a lot of students and even teachers that play the game regularly. I started a War Thunder squadron in 2016, and since then we have created a community with friends on the internet and in real life, and people from all over the world. Our slogan is to treat War Thunder as a place to have fun and build friendship, and I can proudly say our squadron has been kind, wholesome and positive to every member and the community. Although the game can bring frustration, we always treat it as a game and a source of letting out stress. The story started in April during the crafting event. I was introduced to a naval bot program by multiple friends at the school and through the squadron's group chat. My first reaction was suspicious, as I understand the punishment for using third-party software in War Thunder. Then I watched my friend using this bot program and understood its methodology. Essentially, the bot utilizes the feature in War Thunder Naval Battle when you switch to AA guns in manual targeting mode. Both the main guns and auxiliary guns will be controlled by AI. What the program does is capture the screen and execute the inputs that are necessary to run naval battle, and let the War Thunder AI do the shooting. It does not read the RAM of War Thunder, so it does not trigger easy anti-cheat. The script will only click the mouse cursor for you to press join battle, and the efficiency of the AI is poor. Occasionally it might snatch a kill, but your KD will generally be lower than 0.5. On average, with a premium account, you're looking at 10,000 Civilian per match. If you let it run overnight, you might get 300 to 500,000 Civilians, which would be adequate for most players who are on their way to grind through the tech tree. Plus, when there is an event, you can get the maximum number of materials by letting the script run for 10 hours a day. This gives the player a massive income to buy something from the store when they sell the event vehicles. Since it gives so many benefits, many members of the squadron started to use it. Disclaimer: I have not used or even tested any of the scripts or software. My account is too precious for me, and I do not want to get into trouble. I have also informed my squadron openly that I'm talking to Napalmratte about this topic, and it may eventually lead to the ban of naval bots. To my surprise, everyone agreed to this talk, and some people even offered help by giving me demonstration of their bot programs, to whom I expressed tremendous gratitude. This led to the core discussion about players using naval bot programs. What are the motives, and should it be banned immediately? The conclusions are actually very surprising. Unfortunately, at this stage, banning the bot program will do far more harm than good. Let's start with some context. Why people are using naval bot programs. Of all the friends I talked to, the answer is anonymous because of the poor rewards and mental struggles in playing the game. War Thunder addiction is not a joke for a university student. I've seen students pulling all their free time into grinding and never leaving the room. COVID certainly does not help with the situation, as most of the schools are still in lockdown and the majority of classes and tests are done online. So now, touching grass is not allowed, and the only entertainment you can get in your room is War Thunder. The results are not hard to guess: a steep decline in academic performance, very poor social skills, and depression amplified by War Thunder addiction. Another horrible effect is how the game induces frustration and stress by design. Everyone can relate to the suffering they had in various game modes of War Thunder, and in many cases they are not even rage caused by PvP itself, but by the pure mishandling of game rules that are purely done by the developers. There are incidents where War Thunder players are driven to the hospital because of high blood pressure and various stress-related symptoms. If you reach out to the Chinese forum, there are posts surrounding it every day. As much as I love this game, I do not want to see anyone's life ruined by it. For some, you can say these are weak people anyway, but you have to acknowledge that War Thunder takes pride and accomplishment too far, and in a very unhealthy way. What the naval bot program did is to ease the suffering of the players who use them. More often than not, I see these players playing War Thunder as a game, not a job. They can enjoy just making silly mistakes with high repair cost vehicles and not worry about the economy. It can't cure the addiction, but by making it a fun experience, people can be more likely to enjoy the moments, and it's easier to take breaks. You don't need to grind any more events, and you get the rewards for free. What a heavenly experience it is. There are no more obligations that you must play the game anymore, so you are free. Watching people enjoying War Thunder as a game and then starting to discuss real issues of the game, not just arguing which vehicle is OP, just brings a breath of fresh air into my community. And the irony is that it comes from a bot program that you are not supposed to use. So now, it's time to address naval botting, since it is an exploit. I am very conflicted in my opinion. As a player, do you want everyone to be a tryhard and nobody to have any fun because they are always grinding? Or do you want people role-playing bots to free themselves from suffering and you play naval PvE with good rewards? On top of that, the ban on naval botting will basically be the last nail into this game mode. In the end, in my humble opinion, the best course of action is not to take any action at all. It will change how naval battles are played, but every time you see a bot player, think of it as a soul being freed from the slavery of War Thunder. So that's the end of the document, and first things first, thank you very much for reaching out to me, and thank you very much for creating this document and for agreeing that I can use it for making a video. Now, a few things then afterwards is I have reported many issues, including the bot problem, to Gaijin, and not much has been done about it. And if you play the game, you just see that many issues shouldn't be there, and that the people responsible for creating the game don't play that game mode, and I think also many other game modes at all. And if they do, then it's really worrying, because if they don't see the issue, then it's worrying. if they know the issue is there and they don't do anything about it, or the issues in general, then it's equally or even more worrying. So let's go through the points bit by bit. First of all, it is very assuring that people on the other side of the globe think very similarly in many aspects than I do. So, I'm a content creator, but very often I have to think about, am I really still there where the majority of players are? Because this will be my 9th to 10th year of playing War Thunder. The game has fundamentally changed, right? So I think that it is just a bit sad to me that people that are also in university, that are just caught still in massive and hard lockdowns, have nothing better to do than War Thunder. You can't escape it, and that's really a big problem. And I can refer to this quite a bit, because when I did my master thesis, there was just my master thesis and War Thunder. I couldn't get out in the city that I did it. I couldn't enjoy, the city life. I couldn't enjoy going out into a restaurant or a bar or meeting people. I was there alone, just left with War Thunder. And that is not a good experience. Then about the side effects of using the bot program, that those people make progress and have enough silver lines to just play the game. And I think that's kind of everybody's dream, right? To not worry about silver lines, to not look at the repair costs of a vehicle, so that when you get killed, you are maybe angered because of your wrongdoing, but not that you are punished by the game with huge repair costs that you can't afford for the vehicle you have grinded so long, but you can't, spade or upgrade or whatever. And also, it's for the greater good of the community. You see, those events are done to make people spend money on either purchasing it directly or buying themselves up in rank, or whatever. If you look very closely to how the recent events are made, with the score points being more with higher ranks, right? So it's very tempting to just buy a high tier premium to then also get all the premium or reward vehicles. Let's put reward vehicles. So I think that when there are more people getting through the stuff so that they can assemble or win those reward vehicles, then they are getting cheaper on the market, so people can purchase them for cheaper. And in the long run, they still will get expensive, because the majority of them are so far only there for once. So it doesn't really harm anybody. And the same goes for naval battles themselves. When you look at how many Helenas are already there, the people have them in the first place. So they still will be played. Maybe not as much. But without those Helenas, there will be actual bots. And if you kill them, they just don't give any reward at all. The queue times will be, again, very long. And so you have just no fun. The fun doesn't get increased. And then maybe more players will actually take control of their ships. That might be true. But then you are under concentrated, player-controlled fire from a Zelensnyakov, or even worse, a Helena. And with the current state of naval damage models, every battleship, destroyer, cruiser, patrol boat will die to them quickly, brutally, and painfully. And the only reason why you can currently go in a Moffat, in a Helena, in a Zelensnyakov or any other premium ship, and make tons and tons of silver lines. The average that I make is above 150,000 silver lines without booster or without wages, orders, whatever. And that is quite a bit, but I only do it because I farm those bots. It doesn't really hurt the players that run the bot programs, they still get a bit out of it. And yeah, there is some relaxing things about it. And the pure pain, being under a fire from a Helena, is not a fun at all. So as strange as it sounds, I change it and say, Gaijin knows about it, but when they're doing nothing about it, it's fine by me, because it's actually a better thing to have than if Gaijin would overhaul War Thunder naval forces, because it only will get worse. Having dealt with Gaijin for more than 9 years by now has taught me one lesson, and one lesson only. The best place to be in War Thunder is the place that Gaijin doesn't pay any attention to. That's just how it is. That's heartbreaking. It shouldn't be the case, and I'd wish it to be different, but that is the best that you can do about the situation. So, again, at the very end, thanks to the person to reach out to me. I really can deeply relate to whatever there is going on in university, that it's being really stressful. And the one thing in life that I'll always be proud of is to make my Master of Science despite playing War Thunder. So that's it for me today. I hope you found this video informative. Let me know in the comment section. I expect a very interesting discussion. And as usual, give this video a like if it did. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the bell for more interaction. For you, it's just a couple of clicks. For me, it means the world. And as always, we will see each other on the battlefields, in the skies, and on the waves of War Thunder.